if they can break the curse against that of Talon in this match. And we do hope, while we predict Talon winning this game, we do hope that Elevate finally breaks away from Talon.
Yeah, we really want to see that kind of story because, Elevate, we all know that they are one of the best in the world, or in the world to be specific. They made a huge run wherein they were formerly known as Olmo Abyssinians before during the World Championships in 2023, and they left a huge mark. But after that, it was just Talon overtaking the region of the Philippines, and they are eyeing to get back onto the throne and take back the title of being the best in the Philippines.
And now, going to the ban phase, we're going to be seeing the Leafeon get a respect ban immediately into Mike. It's Mike here, I believe Micross, right? Micross, really amazing key player, as we've seen earlier, the key player of this team coming from Talon, and you definitely don't want to give any of his Pokemon, right, into, Mike, because giving Mike any Pokemon, especially Leafeon, that only means, the end immediately. You don't even have to play the game.
Yeah, I totally agree with you with that because he is somewhat of a player that he cannot stop if he's in his comfort zone. And a lot of teams out here in Southeast Asia has been respecting his Leafeon usage. That's why a lot of teams, when they face Talon, it's an automatic ban for Leafeon.
Right, and at the same time, and this is one of the Pokemon again that I've been saying again and again that you cannot give Talon, especially with Kai. This is Hoopa, perhaps the best Hoopa in the region, perhaps in the world. I haven't seen anyone play Hoopa as much as Kai does in any other region. So definitely not a Pokemon that you want to give Kai here. But, having this now into the side of Talon, it's going to prove a lot against Elevate. But then again, it's going to be interesting as they have the Glaceon and the Mew as well. The Mew, this is going to be the first time we're going to be seeing the Mew in the tournament day. Right, so we've seen the Mew before, but this time this is going to be the first one in day number 3.
Yeah, for sure. And we all know that Elevate has been a big fan of making use of Mews, specifically Junior Absent, because they have been using it ever since the last Asia Champions League, as far as I know. Oh no, not Asia Champions League. That was the Philippine qualifier for Asia Champions League. So we're all familiar with it. If you're a certified Filipino Pokemon Unite fan, and you're tuning into Elevate, definitely this kind of compositions from them.
For sure, and here you have it. The final list of the roster for Pokemon into the side of both Talon and Elevate. It is going to be Miraidon, Hoopa, we have the Trevenant as well, the Blaziken, and of course the Garchomp into the side of Talon. And then onto the side of Elevate, it is going to be the Umbreon, Urshifu, Glaceon, Mew, Gyarados. Honestly, both of these teams have balanced composition, and it all would end up into their own execution. I guess the only caveat here is that Elevate has has the Glaceon, though it is still a strong DPS Pokemon at the back lane. If it gets rushed in by I don't know, like a Garchomp or a Trevenant, right? It might have some troubles. Then again, that is where Umbreon comes in, and the Gyarados and the Urshifu actually ensuring that Pokemon from the side of Talon would not be able to get in and take down the Glaceon.
Yeah, for sure. And let's not deny that they also have the Mew, making it very invincible with the Mystical Mirage. And not just that, it provides a lot of buffs as well, knowing that it's around 30% of the movement speed, as far as I know, and 20% max HP shield. So that's actually a huge factor, especially if you manage to take down the Rayquaza and pop off that Mystical Mirage. Definitely, you're going to be unstoppable in scoring your goals.
Definitely. And at the same time, Mew being a Pokemon that the only Pokemon that can actually not the only Pokemon, the first Pokemon in the game that can reset their move sets. The second one being Blaziken, right? I mean, not really a reset for Blaziken, but more so like change up its moveset. But, Mew having that versatility in terms of its move can definitely change up the play of the game here for Elevate. So right now, Talon, though, giving the pressure into Elevate, getting up and stealing their wild Pokemon into the side.
Yeah, and they managed to get the upper hand here at the earlier stages of the game, especially that Elevate has to, again, babysit that Magikarp into the first 2 minutes of the game, and you would really see Talon making the most out of it. For sure, they would ambush this top path in just a while because they still have the sand attack, they have the combo skin up on their favor. So definitely, this would be a good ambush coming in from their team.
Yeah, Mike though, currently at the Gibble, still at level 4, still needs to be babysat here, just like how Elevate is babysitting the Magikarp for it to become a Gyarados. Still not gonna be able to do a lot here. Not a lot of damage as well, but does need a lot of XP. Beautiful reposition here coming from the Combusken as well, making sure that they can secure those birds for themselves, giving Mike as much as possible in terms of XP, allowing it to become a goodbye in just a bit. But here you come though, a 1v1 into the side over the bottom path with RBX, and of course the Umbreon into the side of Elevate. But then again, Gibble is now a goodbye. Mike Cross now at level 5, gonna be able to put down 2, but not gonna have enough time for it to go down back the base with the hyperspace hole, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. But what you want to have in the valley is, of course, your attack weight to be stacked up a little bit. And
Right.
you know that you have a Hoopa on your favor. So you can just hyperspace hole and, go back into your original position as quick as you can. So definitely, that's the main playbook here coming in from Talon, for Mike to be specific. It's just get the most damage that you can before you evolve into a Garchomp. And even that, and after that, if you're a Garchomp already, you're going to be confident in engaging into team fights.
And yeah, I mean, look at this though. Blank getting a bit of a problem here, but at least they have the teammates here just to be able to answer back and really just stay out of the place as well, making sure that they're not going to be taken out. But then again, they are also eyeing out on this Gabite, not going to allow it to take down the Regieleki up top, which is a really good marking coming in from that of Elevate.
Yeah, but right now, look at who's at pressure right now. It's going to be Elevate, and those are eject buttons being utilized immediately at the hands of Junior Absent for them to secure or to keep it alive. Actually, coming in on their favor. But look at this hyperspace hole elevator. There would be 4 stack up numbers from Talon trying to go for the knockout, and yes, they take out the Urshifu out of the table, and they would go in for the scores.
Yes, sirree, and I think, it's still not going to be enough for them to take down the versus score goal, but it is enough to keep them away. And look at that Tempest just walking straight into Dylan, allowing it to score 20 points. Now only 10 points is up left here. Now the elevator is going to be used and utilized here so that they can get in up top, but never mind. They just want to score and get the pressure down bottom. 30 points here, 20 over cap here. They're going to be able to do it as well. And now going back up into that of the elevator to stop the Regieleki. Now Kai needs to survive here. Not going to be able to get away here as Kai gets taken out by that of the Mew. And now the Regieleki is now inside the first year skull goal. But unfortunately for Elevate, they don't have the scores. They don't have the mobility to get inside the first skull goal. But never mind. RBX actually pushed it out, but it doesn't matter as Mike was there to welcome them up. And here comes another KO coming in from Mike. 2 KO in the process. That is going to push Mike into a lot of XP now at level 9.
Yeah, and that was actually a good trade coming in from Elevate, despite dropping a lot of members all the way from the team fight. They managed to trade a gold zone on their favor, but Talon seemingly quick in terms of responding when it comes to team fight. Number one is because they have the Hoopa on their favor, so definitely those hyperspace would benefit their team a lot. And later on, they still have the Rings and Bound on their favor, so definitely that's a huge factor coming in from their team. They want to rotate as quick as they can in order to support everyone else from their team.
That isolation coming in from that of Talon to be able to take down Absent, and Tempest here gets in the bounce coming in from the Gyarados. Woodhammer is going to be popped up as well, allowing them to go back. Oh, never mind, actually stopped by the Dragon Current as well. Phantom Force is going to be popped up, and there you have it, 1-for-1 trade. The Blaze is going to be taken out, and they're still not stopping here. Charge Beam is not going to be enough to take down Pokemon into the side of Elevate. And look at this though, Rings and Bound is going to be popped up so that everyone is up here as well. And look at this, they want to take in more Pokemon instead of Elevate. Tempest gonna get repositioned here by the Horn Leech, and there we have it, another KO into the side of Elevate in the process.
Yeah, and that Focus Blast from Sync 1 is dealing a lot of damage, but look at the bounce from Miba connecting, but the Horn Leech will really isolate a lot of members here from Elevate, and look at the damage!
Down.
Look at the damage Elevate has been dishing out up against Talon! That's 3 members down!
Yes, but at the same time, Elevate is currently down low into terms of into terms of their HP. Registeel, though, is going to be security for Elevate, putting them a bit of an HP as well. And look at that, Glacian with the Icicle Spears going to be able to take down the Miraidon, the backlane attacker here coming in from Talon. Amazing play coming in from Elevate here, making sure that, Talon might have the early game, but making sure that they can, cash up into that of the mid game. Here comes the basic attack, boosted basic attack coming in from that of the Mew. Not going to do a lot of damage here, but at least they can push them away and ensure that they have the positional advantage going into the Regieleki. Here comes another Livid Outrage from Talon.
Yeah, and that won't be enough for them to secure the knockout that they want to get. But the Unite moves are popping off here as well from Tempest. But the goals would be connecting in the hands of Talon, but not going to be quite to take out the goal zone here. Woodhammer is going to connect here immediately, but Elevate is keeping the chase online as that Trevenant will be taken down in the situation.
Elevate definitely won that team fight. This is going to be 3 down in favor of Elevate, and also the Regieleki is going to get secured as well. And we have to remember, they already destroyed the first score goal, so it is now going into that of the second tier score goal up top. And now this is quite a huge predicament into the side of a Talon. This is going to be the final Regieleki as well. But if they can push this in, then they're going to have a hard time. But then again, Elevate is just using Regieleki as a form of distraction here for Talon, so that they can get in. Their XP is getting ready for that Rayquaza fight in just a bit.
Yeah, and they actually can't afford as well their resources to be taken away from Talon all the way from their forest. So they have to maximize the value from the Regieleki by not scoring the goals, but to rather, clean up their forest camps in order for them to get a lot of AO's energy. And at the same time, when they claim the Rayquaza later on, potentially they could overtake the lead as quick as they can, wherein 1 to 2 members is just enough for them to get the lead. But right now, Talon is on its way to position themselves here all the way into the bottom path to secure the potential objective here, which is going to be the Regirock. But look at the position from Elevate, making sure that they have the upper hand in the Rayquaza fight.
Oh yeah, for sure. But here you go. Regirock, as we have mentioned, going to be security with Talon, definitely allowing them to survive a lot in terms of the team fight for the Rayquaza. And now, this is it, the final stretch here for the game number 1 of Talon and Elevate.
Yeah, and Elevate right now has to play this one very carefully. They have the Icicle Spear coming in from the Glaceon, from Lewis rather, that could actually secure a lot of direct targets at the hands of Talon. They just had to eliminate that Miraidon all the way into the backline, but look at that damage!
Yes, look at the damage as well with this Wish. Unfortunately for Tempest, going to get a bit of an, get some HP with Wish. But with that being said, though, is that going to be enough? Though another charge beam is going to be coming up in just a bit here, coming from Dylan. Here comes the Twister coming in from that Rayquaza. Not going to be enough, though. Hyperspace Hole going to be popped up. Moonlight Pass going to be popped up as well. Here comes Rington Bound coming in from Kai. Unfortunately, not a lot of time here. Going to be 2 KO in the process coming in from Talon. And now low HP into Elevate. There's going to be 1 down. There's going to be Umbreon. Are they going to be able to do 1 more? Miva, low HP as well.
And that Icicle Spear would make the Garchomp back away a little bit here at the side of Talon. And Elevate has to reposition themselves for quite some time here in order to get the footing into the Rayquaza speed, because they have been chasing for this objective in order for them to get the upper hand. But Rubex is still online here in order to defend everything and zone out every members of Elevate.
But we have to remember, no one else has their Unite moves. Well, I mean, Blaziken does have it, but that's just to have a form change. Absol is going to be taken out as well, but Elevate is on the Rayquaza. They need to steal his away if they want to win against Elevate, and they will do so, especially with that of the charge being going to be able to secure. Going to be able to secure that Rayquaza just like that. And now Dylan and everyone else putting in the scores here. 50 points. That is it. Talon taking in game number 1.
Yeah, that's a very consistent performance from Talon a while ago, despite being, they were trading some blows from back and forth, but Talon is the overall much more consistent team here in this game. To be specific, I would like to add up that they have been making use of the forms of the Blaziken a while ago in order for them to, juggle around a lot of options, and Rubex has been zoning out and providing a good amount of sets for their team with the Wood Hammer and the Horn Leech. So definitely that was a big factor for their Miraidon, which is going to be a Dylan, so able to dish out a lot of damage all the way into the backline. And yes, there's Lewis at the side of Elevate throwing the Icicle Spears already.
Does get the Psyduck, right? how do you think is Saida going to be able to help them down against that of Talon?
Well, actually, a while ago, I was actually noticing that Elevate was having a hard time in order for them to be committed all the way into the front line because yes, they do have the Umbreon, they have Milook, they have Wish. As far as I know, that was the moveset that they picked a while ago. But
right,
what's after the Dragon's Current? There has to be no follow up, and Glacial was left alone in the backline. That was supposed to happen into the first place, but there wasn't enough mobility, or rather enough hit from Elevate for them to lessen the mobility or pinch everyone down at the hands of a Talon. And definitely a Psyduck would be a great pick coming in from their team in order to lessen their mobility and make sure that Glaceon and you would maximize their damage output.
Right. Well, definitely makes sense. But here we have the first set of bans here for game number 2. Definitely, as I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest key factors here for Talon is definitely Dylan's Miraidon, which has been respect banned here in this game. But that also means that they can take down the Leafeon away from that of Mycross. But now Talon is going to be banning that of Psyduck because, well, for obvious reasons, as you have mentioned, it's going to provide a lot of problem for Talon if they do give away the Psyduck. So, definitely that's going to be the name of the game here. So, Talon starting off again with the Hoopa and Mike with the Mimikyu.
I mean, Kai definitely will be a Hoopa because if that's going to be respected ban, definitely Kai would have to make use of the Eldegoss, and definitely that's not going to be the case right now. Hoopa is wide open. They have to maximize this one out because this has been a trademark of Talon, actually.
There we have it. Trevenant is going to be the next pick here for Elevate. And then let's find out what's going to be the answer here. But oh, wow. Okay, Rubik's now with the Snorlax. Block Heavy Slam. Again, still going to be a lot here, especially against a Trevenant. Just to be able to push them in. But the question is that going to be enough? They have the damage here coming from the Mimikyu, but I believe they're still missing some sort of Pokemon that can dish out some damage into not the back lane, but more so an AoE kind of attack to put up some damage against that of Elevate, unless they gun in right for a single focusing into a single attacking a single targeted kind of strategy. But then again, this is why they're not going to be hovering down into that of the Garchomp, because this is what they're missing, a Pokemon that has a quelling effect into their damage.
Yeah, and not just the quality damage and quality effect, but the sustain that it actually provide coming into the team fights, because the Livid Outreach is actually, very unstoppable, very invincible to be specific,
right,
as well as it could dish out a lot of damage coming in from your team. And on the other side, Elevate here, I love the pick of actually from the Inteleon because of the Azure Spy Vision. We've witnessed how efficient an Inteleon is a while ago, during the early stages of the tournament. And definitely this would be the same case coming in at the side of Elevate. They want the vision, they want the information as fast as they could in order for them to get the advantage, especially on the final stretch.
Right, and the thing is, I do feel like Talon with the Hoopa, right, is going to be able to counter Azure Spy Vision, because yeah, sure, you might have what they can do here is bait down the Azure Spy Vision, get if Talonflame knows, but Inteleon knows where they are, gets a snipe shot, that would allow Talon to know that Azure Spy Vision has been used, and then from there on out, use Hyperspace Hold to make them waste their Azure Spy Vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's actually one way to, avoid the information and at the same time get the spacing that they need. But here's the thing, if they make use of the Hyperspace Hold with after the Azure Spy Vision being popped off, I feel like Elevate has to wait for them to come back into the Hyperspace Hold, in which Talon would definitely not do that. But in crucial moments,
right,
just like for the Rayquaza fights, definitely you would have your thoughts that you have to go back into it if they have the proper spacing. But Elevate here, on the other hand, has the Metagross, so later on, the Compute and Crush could definitely just hop into them with the moment that they come back into the hold.
And as it brings about some sort of rock tomb as well, it's going to imprison a lot of Pokemon inside of Talon with the right timing and the right positioning as well.
sure. But let's see what will be the execution here from Elevate, because in terms of draft, I really like how they draft their team composition right now. It's very well rounded. They have information, they have damage, they have a front line plus a setter and a good amount of damage dealer Pokemons here. So definitely well rounded. But Talon on the other hand, yes, it's a good composition as well. But Rubik's on the other hand, yes, Snorlax is good, but I feel like we could have picked a better defender actually. But we'll see later on how they will execute this one.
Right. With that being said, though, it looks like Talon is trying to buy themselves some time, making sure that if Talon's not going to be able to get in their XPs early, then at the very least, not allow Elevate, right? Not allow Elevate to do what they cannot do. So I mean, I guess this is going to be more of a battle of what do you call this? Attrition for both of the teams.
Yeah, and that will be the case here. But right now, it's very quiet here. Everyone is just clearing the wild camps here, the wild Pokemons here. But Hyperspace hold that early in order to, maybe some sort of, get some pressure, I guess, against Elevate. But as you can actually see from JJ, it's very quiet, actually. Elevate and Talon are trying to play it all out very safe at the same time. So Talon really wants to finish things off here.
And here we have it. The first step of team fight, first set of KOs as well. It's going to be 2 down. It's the Leafeon and the Mew as well. Coming into the side of Elevate, and look at this, the Metang. Metang tries and tries to survive. Going to be able to get in that of the Citrus Berry to survive. Going to be able to secure a KO instead of the Mimikyu and the Bite and the Snorlax as well. It's going to be 3 for 2 trade in favor of Elevate. But now they have to score in, but Dylan is waiting for them. Going to be able to take down 2. That's a Drizzle, and that of the Metang and the Trevor are going to be taken out as well. That's going to be an answer of Talon here. Blank tries to get away, but it's going to get hit here by that of the Psyshock.
And that's actually a good deny coming in from Talon, preventing from Elevate making the scores here, because that's going to stack up a lot on their health items. And at the same time, that would add up a little bit of a pressure coming in from their team. But they managed to deny it immediately, and right now they are eyeing on the Regieleki. They have Hyperspace Hole on their favor, so definitely they could just rotate back anytime they want. But the question is, can Elevate pinch them down?
Yes, sir, and here we have it. The answer finally is going to be in our sights, because it is not going to be Elevate that's pinching them down. It is going to be the other way around. Talon pushes them away, destroying the first goal up top, and now securing the Regieleki for themselves, and does have the elevator to go down and possibly take away the Reggie bottom as well away from Elevate.
That's going to be big, especially that Rubix is trying to initiate things here already all the way into the bottom path with a heavy slam. So that's actually another free objective coming at the hands of Talon, and no one is sneaking behind at the hands of Elevate. So that's actually another objective coming in from Talon.
And that's what we have been talking about, ladies and gents. The elevator is doing its best to make sure that they can get all the objectives, and they did. Now going to be able to destroy the first disposal down bottom. Now the score is 0 to 200 in favor of Talon, and not only that, they do have the XP advantage as well.
And very dominating first half of the game, to be specific. He actually had an overcap of around 40 points, to be specific, a while ago. So that's actually phenomenal coming in from Talon, making sure that they maximize their score conversion and XP conversion at the same time for them to get a bigger lead up against Talon. Because look at the levels right now, single digits compared to every single members of Talon, who is almost at double digits right now.
Look at this, so Rubik's trying to initiate the team fight here, but unfortunately for him, Elevate is now, now out, right? It's now out of that. But with that being said, though, Talon here, as I mentioned, I like what they're doing here. They weren't able to get into XP, they weren't able to get into points, and they are stopping Elevate from doing the same thing. But now they have found the space that they needed, and now it's in the lead.
And they have to maximize his lead once and for all. But look at that, Kai being able to retreat back immediately. That was actually a wise decision coming in from their team, because they can't afford knockouts as much as possible, because that's gonna catch up a lot of XP at the side of Elevate, and you want your opponents to be behind as much as possible.
Right. And at the same time, I just can't help but notice as well, Snorlax here into the side of Talon. Rubix is not actually gunning in for a block, but instead Heavy Slam and Yawn. And look at this, another initiation coming in from that of the Mew. They're going to be able to take down the Metagross as well. Parano's going to be popped up as well, but here comes Talon from the back, dealing some damage against that of Tempest. Heavy Slam is going to be popped up as well, and Mimic is going to be answered back here by a Blank. This is going to be 2-for-1 trade here, but Rubix trying to get away. They are not going to be able to get away. Psychic Sword is going to be popped up as well into the Yawn just to try to escape, as well as that Garchomp is securing that Regieleki. They're going to be able to do so. That's a very good trade here. There's going to be 2 down into the side of Talon. Yes, sirree, but look at that, though. They might have been able to take down 2 into the side of Talon, but still not able to take down any score, not able to put down any scores at all. Now, with the Regieleki taking down their, getting their time, coming from Elevate, it does give them some free time to go down and take this Regirock for themselves. So yeah, sure, they might not have the Regieleki, but at least they have the Regibottom.
Oh, well, when you notice a while ago, the Hoopa pop up the rings and bounce and the hyperspace hole at the same time, all the way into the bottom half. At first glance, you think it's going to be very questionable, but at the same time, the value that they got from it is, number one, he managed to make everyone rotate all the way into the bottom path, and number two, he could defend it with all his might at the top path because he has an enhanced Pokemon moveset with the rings and bound.
And look at this, though. Kai being left alone down bottom here, and now we have the Espion as well going to respond into Kai and the Mimikyu, but Rubik still going to be able to take down the Trevenant, and Talon is just dominating this match. Again, Elevate still does not have a single stacks, not a single point up their arsenal.
Yeah, and that's going to add up a lot of pressure coming in from their team, knowing that 2 minutes and 30 seconds is the name of the game, and they are just waiting for the final stretch, and Elevate really needs the Rayquaza later on, because that would be their game changer here, but Talon is so ready for them to build up an obstacle against them.
Beautiful, pokes here coming in from that of Rubik's, Yawn into the going into the Heavy Slam as well. Just making sure that, after poking them out, gets a knock up and then get away, wait for the teammates as well. But now, this is going to be a 4v5 situation as the Garchomp is still not available in this Ray Pit. But at the same time, Elevate still doesn't know this.
Yeah, and that would be the toughest obstacle for Elevate, to overcome this positioning. But look at that, Rubix using the Heavy Slam to check the tall grasses here.
Oh, Rubix, no, survives just enough to be able to go back to their base, and now they are now going to go back again, just going to use the jump pad, so that there's not a lot of risks, not going to be taken out quite freely into the side of Talon. Now, see, here's the thing, though. Talon doesn't even need the Rayquaza at this point. They just can't score, and they would still be able to put in a lot of gap. But then again, just to be able to get a bit of a secure, they still need the Rayquaza. 100 points is going to be the name of the game here. 64 is going to be coming up as well. Computer and Crash is going to be pop up, and here you go. Rings and bound into the eject button just to get away from the Computer and Crash. Look at that, Livid Outrage going to be popped up as well. Lewis, unfortunately, is not going to get hit. Gets the eject button to get away from that of the Garchomp. 1-for-1 trade, no make the 2. Talon has the lead still, no make the 3. Talon eating Elevate up. Now going to be able to try to secure this Rayquaza. Not quite yet, because Espion and Hoopa are down low in HP.
Yeah, and the Rubix really did play a lot of role at the hands of Talon, doing the Heavy Slams and the Yawn for their favor in order for him to zone out a lot of members. And just take a look at that. He doesn't have to eliminate his opponent. He just has to buy time for the
dancing,
teammates.
Dude.
And, yeah, that's it, right? That's it. It doesn't have to go for the KO. It just have to, buy some time for their team.
Dude, the dominance of Talon right now is overflowing, and now Tempest here tries to take this Rayquaza, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. Like Swear is going to be popped up as well. Another 100 points down bottom coming from Kai, securing their win, being game number 2-0 against that of Elevate. Quite a dominating fashion, dominating win for Talon against that of Elevate.
And that is how you start and end the day. That has been the statement of Talon, as they're going to be finishing their run, at least for today, with a 2-0 fashion. And it was complete dominance. Game number 1, we saw that the big chance of Elevate overtaking that game. But game number 2, it was a flawless fashion coming at the side of Talon. They they didn't show any lapses or loopholes actually coming in from their team. Everyone filled in the gap, especially for Rubex, who has been doing a lot of things for their team.
And game number 2, Talon was just different. As you have mentioned, day one, no, game one could have been anyone's game. Honestly, Elevate was able to